Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. Today I am going to be continuing my series where I play Crusader Kings and I explain all of what I think are the important decisions in my game. I am doing this so that people who are new to the game can see where I spend most of my time making my decisions and which decisions I think are good for certain situations. In the first video, we started out as a vassal in eastern Spain here, and that video I kind of just showed the first 20 or 30 years of gameplay. And what I've done, I played a little bit off camera, and just so I could become a kingdom, I broke away from what was our liege, because we were a vassal, and I became a kingdom. And now I am currently my second life in this dynasty, and you can see this is my player here. We have 4 kids and 2 sons, and I really just want to get more into the mid game. So I consider the mid game to be around when you are a kingdom, you already have a decent amount of power, and you're trying really just to take over the people near you and get a lot more power to become an emperor. And then once you're an emperor, I feel like that's more the later game. So let's just get started. One important thing I want to mention is that if we look at our tech screen, which is dependent on what culture we are. So we're Bedouin culture, which is really common here in the Middle East. And the person who gets to choose what you're researching for your culture is actually a guy called your culture head. And this person is the ruler who owns the most counties with this culture. So currently you can see this guy down here. He has 7 Bedouin counties, which are counties that have the Bedouin culture. And we currently only have 4, as you can see here. And those are these ones here. So what I am going to be constantly doing for throughout this game here is I'm going to be promoting my culture in any of these counties that I own, so I can have more than 7, and I'll become the culture head because I want to be able to choose what we're researching because I have certain things that I really need for my playthrough, and I just want to be the one who decides what we're researching. So I'm currently looking for players to go to war with, and all of these other Muslim leaders that are near me, if I go to declare war with them, I actually can't do conquer duchy because you need to have a fame equal to illustrious, and currently we are not illustrious, we're the level below it. However, since my piety is of faithful level, I can declare holy wars against people who aren't my religion for duchy. So this is a way I can get lots of land quickly. Like here I'll be able to get 3 counties in one war, when compared to if I was to declare war on some of these Muslim leaders near me, I would only be able to get 1 count per war. So I think I'm going to try to take these guys on. They're pretty weak. They only have 900 troops and they have some allies here. So I should be able to win this war pretty easily, considering we have almost more than double their troops. So something I'm doing in this war that might help you guys is I have 2 separate armies here. One that has a lot of my fighting force, but importantly it has my siege weapons here. So this army I'm trying to leave into where the county is so that he can capture it, and my other army, which has some fighting units and no siege weapons, I'm just moving it to a county nearby. And what this does is it lowers the supply penalty which I would get on my unit. So you can see here these guys are losing supplies per month because this title has a supply limit, which you can see there, of 2,000. So if you have an army bigger than 2,000, you're going to be losing supplies by standing in this for a long time. So by keeping one of my armies in a tile that has 4,000 supply limit, these guys won't be losing their supplies, and an army that is well supplied will fight better. So an army, if they have undersupplied, you can see here it says well supplied. An army, if it says undersupplied here, is going to get a penalty in battles. Something I really like doing in my games is choosing a county that has a very defensible terrain in my realm and just building it up to be a defensive powerhouse.
It's over, Anakin! I have the high ground!
So I like having some of these scattered around my land just in case I get a war nearby. I'm able to run into these tiles and I'll know I'll be safe from enemies. Another big thing that I was able to do before I was recording was I was able to take this land here in Cordoba, and this land to the untrained eye may look like nothing great, but you can see it actually has huge development. So it has 28 development in this land, which gives it a huge gold bonus, but it also has a wonder, which is the Great Mosque here, and this Great Mosque earns me a +3 tax bonus in this holding, as well as a +15% tax in this county. So What I am going to try to do in this tile, since I have a huge bonus to my taxes, is I'm going to build a lot of things that have taxable income, so like these pastures and these mansions, and I'll probably throw down a farms and fields here, because that'll give me another plus 0.5. And what we want to do in this area is just consolidate all of our gold income here, because we're getting such a bonus percentage wise and development wise to this land. So that'll make sure that this tile generates me tons of gold throughout the game. So I was waiting until I had 250 gold, because what I wanted to do was create this duchy here from this land that I just took. I like creating duchies because they give you a big prestige bonus, and we're just making so much gold right now. We really need to, it's a good way of converting our gold into prestige, because we do want to become illustrious so we can eventually take over all of these neighbors who are also Muslim. Okay, another good thing about creating duchies is that it actually helps your gold income and your vassal opinion. So if we take a look at the duchy map, you can see that I've conquered enough counties in this duchy to create the title. But before we do that, let's take a look at this guy in our realm menu, because we should be able to see this symbol here, which means that our levies and taxes are reduced by him, because he wants his liege to hold the next highest title for where his lands belong. So he belongs to this duchy that was right here, and he's not going to pay his liege unless they actually hold that upper level of title for him. So you can see because of that, he's earning me 50% less gold and units, because I am not his rightful liege, which is what the symbol means here. And also, if we take a look at his opinion, this should skyrocket after, and it should stay high. So to remedy this, we are just going to go ahead and create this title, but we're not going to hold the title because we already have 2 other titles that we're holding. So this would put us over our duchy limit of 2, meaning our vassals would get an extra opinion debuff towards us. Here you can see that he actually has an opinion debuff because we're holding the duchy where his lands belong, and we have too many duchies right here. So what we are going to do is just grant him this title. So here he is. I'm going to grant him this title, but I want to keep this land here because it's a pretty good land. And you can see we're giving him the duchy, and he already has these 2 lands here. So now you can see his opinion is very high with us, because you get a huge bonus for receiving a duchy. It's a plus 60, but even if we took this plus 60 away, it would still leave us with a plus 2, which was a lot better off than where he was before with us. So I have just embraced celibacy as I unlocked the restraint perk. So now I do not have to worry about having any more kids. So I'm going to fill out my wife here, and I'll find somebody with good traits just in case something happens. And this is actually good timing for me because I only have 2 sons, and my second son has intelligent and my first son has nothing going on for him. So I'm going to go ahead and disinherit my first one for the low price of 300 prestige and 150 renown. I think is a very good price. And now if we look at my succession, my intelligent son will inherit all of my titles, which is exactly what we want. So unfortunately for me, it looks like the French have declared war against me, but it's not France itself. It's actually a consolidation of French vassals who has declared war on me. So it's Champagne, Toulouse, and he was allied to somebody else too, Aquitaine, but I'm not sure if he's going to join or not. So it's not great news. They have around 8k troops, and so do I. And I also just declared war on this tiny little guy here. But I'm going to rally my troops, and I think I should be able to defend against these guys. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to take away all of my fighting units and almost all of my champions from here, and I'm going to move them into these 2 armies here, which should have lots of levies, and the rest of these levies and my siege units can take out this county very easily because I already killed all of this guy's troops, so I shouldn't have to worry about anybody coming in and hitting me from there. So I just got into a huge battle here with most of their forces. They had 6,000 to start, and we had 8,000 to start, so we should be winning this battle. You can see we are getting currently a negative advantage modifier, which increases enemy damage. The main reason for that is mainly just the roll. So yeah, you can see there it was pretty close to 0, which is good. You don't want it to be too high in the negatives. That was actually a huge win, and we killed about 700 more units than they did to us. So that's good. We're depleting their armies. You can see our main killing force were these super strong heavy infantry units we have. I think what I'm going to do now is go on the counter-offensive, and we could get their capital here. I think we would almost have enough war score to great. We should already be able to do white peace, but I want an actual peace so I can get a little bit of money and some prestige off of them. And like that, we won the battle. And this should just tick on its own to 100% because we're controlling the war target, which was Barcelona, which was ambitious for them, and we can just go ahead and declare peace. So we just defended against an army that was almost the same exact size as us. Just by being a little cautious and defending in your territory first, and then going on the offensive can really save you in those wars where somebody really powerful declares war on you. Oh yeah, and let's just take a look at our rewards. So we're gonna get $100 and 100 prestige, as well as some faith. So it's very nice for me. And just like that, we defended our land here. And you can see our vassals are cleaning up. There was a piece of land that wasn't ours, but since we have strong vassals here, they actually took it for themselves. So it appears like our friend from Castile here, he lost his allies, which were keeping him pretty strong, which means he's open to a nice attack for this lovely duchy here. All it costs is 100 faith, which we have heaps of right now. So I'm going to declare that war and just take it from him. I think they should really work on some of the suggestions in this game. If we look at this, I didn't even know this was a notification you could get. It says this guy would make a good husband for one of my daughters, and we click on him. He's 12 years old. He's got a sinful trait, and he's blind. I don't think he's going to be a good husband for anybody, really.
Got him!
But we did take this duchy from Castile, so we're going to enforce our disband our armies. And I think I'm going to do a quick war also on these guys here because they only have 1,000 troops and they don't have any allies right now. So let's see if we can do a holy war for this duchy, and we can, and they only have 1,000 something troops. So I will get that done as well. When you do see weaknesses in with people who are on your border, when they have low troops like that, you really have to take advantage, because it can happen so quickly in this game where they just become strong out of nowhere again. So you have to strike when you see a chance. I'm kind of been waiting for the same thing in France right now. This guy's pretty old. I think after he dies here, his land might split up a little bit, and there should be a window where we can invade. So here I was, minding my own business, just taking over all these Catholic Spanish rulers over here, and another one of these French vassals declared war on me. So again, it's similar to before where they have 8,000 troops. We have 9,000 now, so we should be able to win. It's just annoying because I'm right in the middle of this war here, so hopefully I can finish this off quickly and then come back and stop these guys from taking over my land. And just like that, I got another war declared on me from these guys here, and they actually have, apparently they have 9,000 troops with their allies. So that is not great. We're defending against a war here from these guys with 9k, a war here from these two guys with well, these three guys with 8k, and we're trying to win a war here against these guys who are really weak. So we're fighting on all sides right now.
I'm fighting for my life!
So we just won some big battles in both the north here and the south. You can see here we killed 1,300 more than we lost. I've been spanking the French anytime they come over this mountain range here, and then they've been retreating. But I think here I can actually just take a little bit of land, and that should help the war score significantly. So we just spanked them again, this time killing 1,000 of their troops. And we have our 8k army here, and I'm thinking of running them back up north here. Hopefully we can defeat these French again. It looks like we should be able to. Wow. So yeah, look at this. We lost 600, killed 2,500. Very good. And they retreated back over their borders. We just need to kill these guys now. We're really just running back and forth, just murdering on both fronts, essentially. And the reason we're able to do this is because we have so many men-at-arms. You can see here in the second army, we have a lot of men-at-arms that are really strong against their units. So this one's at 77 now, so I think if I just take one more piece of land, should be good here. I'm going to take my army that has the catapults and march it right into here. So we just hit a 100% war score in this southern war here. So we'll enforce our demands, we get our nice gold and everything. And then again, the French are coming back from the north. So we're going to go back and spank them. And just like that, we hit 100% on that war also. So we can enforce our demands, get our gold bonus, and we just fended off 2 giant invasions. And we're very lucky because our army of levies here is getting very low on supplies, meaning they would be stopped being useful soon enough. We're also going to make a ton of gold from all these ransoms. And this is really good news, because what I want to do is I want to move my capital again. I don't like it here on the coast in Valencia. The land here is just straight mediocre. What I'm trying to do is get some more land here in the Duchy of Cordoba and the Duchy of Granada. And I want to move my capital here so it's super defensible. And I want to upgrade the Wonder Alhambra here, which is again relating back to the beginning why I'm trying to get to be the head of the Bedouin culture, so I can research hoardings on my own and upgrade this. Because if I get my capital here and upgrade it, you can see it gives it a plus 8 fort level here, which is crazy, plus 1,000 garrison, making it really hard to take. So I'll be pretty much undefeatable if I get this as my capital. One other thing about vassal management I wanted to show you guys is more of this not rightful liege modifier that we're having here. So these guys want me to own the Kingdom of Valencia, and now that I am a king, I can create other kingdoms and it actually won't give me any penalties at all. So when you're a king or an emperor, you can own as many kingdoms as you want without having penalties, and that's good because this guy here wants me to own the Kingdom of Valencia, and you can see he's getting a modifier of 50% to his units and gold to me. So if I were to create this title, he is paying me double what he was before, and he is giving me a lot more units than he was before. And owning kingdoms is actually a way you can found a new empire. You can see here, if you own 3 or more kingdoms and your realm size is 80 or more, you can become a new empire. So if we look at our neighbor France, you can see that the old man who was in charge here has recently died, which is beautiful for us because this 7-year-old kid is now in charge, and he only has 3,000 units and an ally strength of about 500, 600. So it might be our chance here to start taking some pieces out of France here in a holy war. And would you look at that, since I haven't used my holy war for kingdom yet, which you can only do 1 per ruler, we could actually get all of this land here in 1 war. And they only have 4,000 troops, which is half as many as we do. So I just think this is too good of an opportunity to pass up, so I'm going to have to take it. So let's see if we can win this war against France. Hopefully he won't be able to make too many allies. That's the only thing that could save him. I had a couple battles with France, but they were all pretty easily won, as he only has half as many troops as me. And just like that, we have reached 100% war score, and we can now take whole kingdom of Aquitaine. So just like that, we went from being a relatively large kingdom to a massive kingdom. We now own all of southern France and almost all of Spain. So I will have a lot of management to do, especially in this realm, in this land here, because it is primarily Catholic, and I have a lot of little pieces to give away to people. I'll have to find some good strong Muslim vassals to give this land away to, so that they can crush all these small Catholic rulers that are around here now. So this might actually help some of you. After you do take a big piece of land like this, and you're gonna have to worry about people who already having rulers who aren't part of your culture or religion, and they're just gonna hate you, you're gonna want to have strong vassals around them so that they won't be able to rise up against you. They'll have to rise up against the strong vassal, and hopefully they'll be able to fight them back down. So the way I plan on doing this is creating these duchies in these titles, and then granting the duchies and all of the land that I own to a certain vassal. So hopefully they'll be able to take down these Catholic vassals that still remained here after I declared peace. I can't be too fussed about their stats right now. I'm really just making sure they're my culture and my religion to make sure they won't rebel against me. And I'm granting them 3 or 4 pieces of land so that they're strong enough, and then when I have the gold, I will be able to usurp all of these duchy tiles, give that to my Muslim rulers, which I gave this free land to, and they'll be able to crush these other little Catholic rulers that are around this area. So I have managed my vassals up here. You can see now have 11,000 troops. I'm making 31 gold per month. And I moved my capital down here to Granada, which has a huge defensive bonus. And what I did with my old capital in Valencia is I just granted it to my son so he would start earning some prestige for himself, some piety, and some gold. So when I play as him, he'll be a little bit better. And this land here is pretty safe. There's no enemies nearby, so he shouldn't be getting himself into too many wars, hopefully. And he shouldn't get himself killed in this situation. We can actually found our new empire when we have enough money. I also became the culture head for the Bedouin culture because I now have 8 counties, Bedouin counties under my control. And I think what I'm going to do is switch to hoarding, so I will finally be able to upgrade my wonder here to the next level, which will give me all kinds of just tasty bonuses. Something else that is always good to do when you become this size is try to remember to be constantly converting counties that aren't your main religion, because they'll have a huge they'll have a negative opinion effect because they're from a different religion than you are. So I'm going to try to convert these counties slowly as I go. So my player is going to die soon, but we just got enough money to create our empire. We just have tons of prestige and we have lots of faith, so we can do this. And now we are the mighty emperor, and you can see we get an extra holding from that. We were at 8 before. You may be like, oh, how come I'm not at my holding limit? It's because I gave away some of my land to my son, but I will get it back when he dies. I mean, when I die and become him. If you would look at that, we are a lovely empire now with 16,000 troops. So I think we should be bigger than pretty much everybody around, even the huge Holy Roman Empire. Yeah, we're bigger than the Byzantines. We're making heaps of money now. I'm continuing to upgrade my lands here, but I think that is where I'm actually going to end the video for today. I'm going to put up on the screen right now where we started this video and where we ended in terms of money and troops. I hoped that this video is helpful for you guys, and that maybe you learned something that will improve your mid game in Crusader Kings 3. Let me know if you want me to do another one of these videos for after this guy will die. Now that we're an empire, I would consider it kind of getting towards that late game stage where you're just focusing on huge wars against other giant empires, as you can see with these guys all around us here. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.